Hi everyone, happy Thursday. It's Michelle with Serendipity House, and I'm here with the new IOD molds. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen them. I just haven't had a chance to do a live with them or show them, so I've got all 8 of them here. I'm going to show you something that I already made that you may have seen pictures of, and then I'm going to start a new 2x2 board where I use the, it's like a sample board in my shop, and I'm going to incorporate the newest molds, stamps, and I guess that's it because there's no new transfers yet, but we're going to start creating that, and I'm going to show everything to you. Hi Melanie, say hello when you guys come on. Let me just find myself here. I know the lighting is horrible, you guys, because I got that new big round light, but I can't figure out how to use it without having the circles reflect in my glasses, which drives me crazy. So I just have these stupid fluorescent lights. There I am, and I'm sideways. Am I sideways? Nope, wait, that's not today. Okay, here I am. I was sideways another day. I am using my new iPhone. I don't know that there's anything different. Let me know if you can't see me, hear me, whatever. Okay, all right, you guys ready? So before I just show you the packaged ones, you guys have probably seen this. I've posted it in a couple of spots. I'm gonna, after I show you the molds, I'm gonna wax this and then maybe finish it up. Oh, stupid notification showing up on my screen. But this is some of the new ones that I did a few weeks ago when I was in California at the workshop with all of my IOD friends. So this is Bird Song. And this is all done with the new, the IOD air dry clay. So one of the things that I wanted to show you is how little cracking and shrinkage there is. Like there's hardly any. Can you see that? He loves me. Whoops, over here. Everything's backwards here. So this is one of the moldings pieces. This is a piece of Classic Elements, one of the older molds. These are from Classic Elements too, and he loves me. But see how pretty that is, how it didn't shrink or crack hardly at all. So if you haven't tried the new clay, and I get questions about this all the time, it's really great. And I don't just say that because I sell it, I say it because I use it and I like it. Okay, let's look at them. All right, so these are mine, so I'm gonna open them up so that I have them for my workshop. So the first one is Trimmings 1. So there's 2 new trimmings, Trimmings 1 and Trimmings 2. These are big 6x10. They're nice and deep with a lot of detail. So this is Trimmings 1, love it. And then there's a second one called Trimmings 2. One of the most popular older release molds was called Moldings, which was similar to, it was moldings to put around and like make picture frames. It was similar to this so that you could edge stuff. And so I'm really excited that they came out with 2 of these because they get used a lot. There's just so many applications. So this is Trimmings 2. And He Loves Me is the next one, and that's this pretty floral design. I feel like, hold on, I can hear myself talking on my iPad. There we go. Okay, and these are so deep. So this is one of the ones that I used in the board I just showed you. I mean, look at how big this is. That's big, guys. And nice and deep and detailed. So that's called He Loves Me. The next one is Heirloom Roses. Has anybody, hey Sue, how are you? I was rushing on my way here. Did you get the last Bird Song mold when you did you place your order yet? So the next one coming up is Bird Song, after I finish what I just started. and those have been flying off the shelves. I have one left, unless it's been bought in the last 20 minutes, and it's this one right here. This one right here is my last one. I'm not keeping one for myself this week. I've already ordered more. I could tell they were going fast, so I ordered more Tuesday morning. So, okay, this one is called Heirloom Roses. So it's got the leaves, the buds, nice deep. I wish I had a measuring. This is about 1/4 inch deep, which is pretty deep. So the detail goes right down through, all the way. So these are good for baking too, guys. Don't use separate molds for baking and crafts, but they're good for baking. And I am actually going to, all right, I'm gonna open up this one neatly because this one has to be for sale. It's my last one, so I'm gonna sacrifice since I've already used it at the workshop. But anyways, with Thanksgiving coming up, I'm thinking I might play with some of these on my, on an apple pie crust, because I used to do that with, not with molds, but with, you know, the metal stamps. And I remember having some Williams-Sonoma things that I would make leaves and put all over my pie. So I'm gonna try these. Okay, bird song. This, by far, the most popular. I've already sold many. If you guys know me, you know I work really hard to stay stocked, and I was stocked in these and they're gone. This is my last one. Aren't they beautiful? I love it. I really love it. Okay, I'll have more in next week, so if you would like me to put one aside for you, then just message me and let me know. I'm gonna put this one right back into the plastic. Has anybody out there gotten theirs yet? Some of you, if you ordered from me, actually I'm gonna put this aside so I can concentrate and get it in there nicely after I'm done. I've shipped a ton out. Some of you should, and some of the people in California, they got theirs earlier because they're like right next door. All right, this one is called Monarch. This one's also very popular. This is butterflies. Aren't those beautiful? Monarch. And the next one is called Lock and Key. This is similar to one of the older designs, but a lot more detailed, and there's a lot more locks and keys on here than in the other one. So that's Lock and Key. Escutcheons might have been what the other one was called, which I can never spell. Hey, Sherry. I don't know what you're guessing to. Have you gotten your molds? Okay, and then this one, which is also very popular, is called Acanthus Scroll. So this is a beautiful, I got it upside down? No, I don't. Beautiful, large scrolls. All right. Oh, and this too. I haven't tried molding that yet. Okay. Alrighty, so there we have it, all 8 new molds. Hi Jerry, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. All right, I'm gonna just drop stuff on my floor there because that's how I roll and pick it up later. All right, I am going to face my camera down. I haven't thought about what perspective you guys are gonna be at, like looking from the side. Let's see, maybe I should move the camera so you can see from the front. Bear with me. And of course there's a, all right, so you're looking from the front but you're upside down, but I can turn this around. All right, I'm just gonna wax this real quick so you can see what it looks like finished. And then I'm going to show you how to use the molds. All right, so I've got the DIY wax. My DIY wax brush. I'm gonna just put a little on there. So this has been, I'm gonna show you the first part of this today, a board. And then it's been, the molds were put on with the tight bond glue, the same glue I have today. And then it was painted white. And then we did a like a charcoal kind of colored wash over it. So what a wash, that was just watered down paint. And so now I'm gonna seal it. And the reason I'm giving up my last bird song for somebody is because I'll have more next week, but I did already get to play with them, so, and I love it. I can see doing some Christmas boards with this, holiday birds and something like Peace on Earth kind of thing. All right, so, boy, I can't even feel that. It must be soaking right in. I'm thinking I might want to detail it with dark wax or dark and decrepit after. There we go, but it should feel a little bit damp. You can see a little bit where it pulled away, like where the white is showing right here, if I'm in the screen. All right, so that's that. Now let's mold. So what you're gonna need for the molds, I don't know what I'm gonna, whoops, look at this chunk here. Try not to leave chunks of clear wax or it'll never dry. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna move that aside. I have, flour or cornstarch is what you need. This is a clean brush. You just need a loose brush because you're gonna just dab some of that into your molds. I've got the IOD air dry clay. Just cut it open. I am going to grab, well, I'm going to be working pretty fast, but you should be keeping that in a baggie. I don't have one handy. We're going to be using the Tight Bond glue. This is the Thick and Quick. I always save my sticks for my transfers because there's other uses for that, right? Okay. So, what mold should I do? I'm going to start with, if there's any that you want to see, I'm going to start with some of the Monarch. That's been pretty popular. Hey, Sandra. Hello in Italy. I was going to say from Italy, but darn, I'm not in Italy. You are. Okay, so let's do some of the Monarch. Okay, so if I decide to bake with these for a Thanksgiving, I won't be baking with this one because I'm now going to put clay into it. So we're going to just dust a little bit of flour into this. We may as well just do a few of them at the same time in the same mold. Okay, I'm going to shake off the excess, and then I am going to, Sandra, do you guys have the new molds in Italy yet, or are they en route? I know things take longer to get to the overseas folks. It's hard enough waiting here, just West Coast to East Coast. Sometimes I feel like I'm waiting forever. All right, so I am just squishing it in. I just kind of put this in a tube. That's what I'm used to, kind of doing it into like a long tube kind of. So you're just pushing it into the mold. And actually, I'm going to do that for all of the ones that I have dusted. Feels like it needs a little bit of softening. It feels really hard right now. Don't worry about excess because I'm going to show you how to get that off, because these molds have a micro rim on them which make it easier to get the backing nice and flat. And the reason that's important to have the backing nice and flat is that you want to have a nice seamless flat contact between your mold and your piece of wood or furniture or whatever you're putting it on. I am just squishing this right in there. I think this is the last one that okay. Oh, there's something I forgot to tell you that you needed. I'll show you right now. Now there are different things that you could use for this, but I like to use a putty knife or a spackle knife, whatever you might call this. And what this is for is, I'm not sure if I could get it to the right angle to show you the rim, but and I think actually I'm going to grab a wider one of these. Okay. So I'm pressing it in and down, and you can see, I hope you can see. I probably ought to take a little bit of that off, but you can see where what it does is kind of sit up on the rim. So I'm just going to pull it across, take the extra clay off. I save it, I use it. It is probably best to have like a damp cloth over your clay when you're not using it, because it does dry pretty quickly. You don't want it to dry out. It's not inexpensive. I make a mess when I play with the clay every time. I am probably going to have flour all over the place. Okay, and this also is a little bit easier if your clay is warmed up first. So the next one I do, I'm going to really roll it in my hands more so you can see the difference. All right, so now the easiest way to take these out, hi Janine, sorry. Okay, so here's how I take mine out. I kind of, I'm trying to decide which way I want to roll, but I do kind of a rolling motion. Okay, so I'm going to bend it right here like this, and it should just fall right out. So there's one of the butterflies. I'll show them to you in a second. So as I roll, this little one didn't roll out, but it came out pretty easily. Can you see? I'm just rolling it. And that way you're not stretching your clay or ripping it. But actually these are quite thick. And I'm gonna hold these up so that hopefully you can see the detail. Detail is amazing. See the detail there? They're very deeply cut, these molds. And here's the bigger one. Those are really awesome. Okay, so I am gonna, what I do is I turn out a whole bunch of molds, and then I lay my design out and start gluing. So I'm going to do, it seems like nobody has had any requests. I am gonna do some of the trimmings. So this is trimmings 1. So let's go ahead and let's see. I'll probably use different. I just want to see how they look. So let's just do a couple of them in there. Now in my pattern, I'll probably want to repeat some of the same ones. So, all right, now I'm going to take all of this broken up pieces and squish it together so I don't waste it. I can't wait to see what everybody is doing with their clay. The other fun thing to do is impressions with it, because a month ago we just had all the new stamps out, so a lot of people are doing impressions. I like mixing. I think the piece I'm doing now is going to be a mixed media piece to show how the stamps, the clay, and the molds can all be made. All right, now the reason that I'm doing this really is because the clay was really hard before and cold, so I think this will help it. And then you just squish it down. So this was all the clay that I had taken off the backs before. So look at that whole piece, and there's going to be more coming up to not, it would have been wasted. So you want to keep all of your little scraps because you can turn them into that. Hey Deanne, glad you could join us. These are available now, Janine. They're on my website. The only one that I am going to have next week that I'm out of is Birdsong, because I sold a whole bunch really fast. So I reordered those on Tuesday morning. So I should have them in a week. And if you would like one, well, you won't need one saved. I ordered a lot more. I hate running out of things. I like to be prepared. I thought I was. You know, it's really hard to try to guess what the big sellers are going to be, and it's kind of fun to see what they are. I really like the birds, and I thought the trimmings was going to be huge, and that's selling well too. But the biggest ones that seem to be most popular are the acanthus, the birdsong, and the monarch. All right, so here we go. Let's see if this comes off a little easier. Than the angle has a lot to do with it. There we go. So all of that I'm saving. See how nicely that comes off? That's because of the micro rim. The micro rim means that when I'm doing this, my tool is basically sitting on the rim. All right, I've got a lot of extra on there. I put too much clay on. So it means that it's sitting on the rim. I put way too much clay in, you guys, so it's just not pulling it. I gotta take some off with my fingers first. Overachiever. Okay. There is always a way to fix any mistakes, perceived mistakes that you have made. All right, and I took too much out along there. I'm going to fill in this so that it doesn't like come out jagged. I can see I over scooped. Got a little overzealous. All right. All right, let's take that out. Sometimes it just sticks to the table. I'm going to move that aside. All right, so again, I'm going to do the rolling thing. So I'm going to put it down on my surface like this, and I'm going to lift it up at the edge. You see how it's coming off like that? And I'm keeping it down nice and low so it's not stretching or pulling. And this is also going to help so that your clay does not crack or separate as much, because I'm not stretching this at all. Came out nice and easily. So this is very delicate, but this is really pretty. That's one of, that looks like roses and leaves, and I'm gonna put that flat on my board there. And this. And they came out perfectly flat on the other side, nice and smooth, so that I get a good adhesion. Okay, let's make a couple out of this one. And then I'm going to kind of think up of a design and show you how I glue them down. I guess I'm going to do all of these here. I guess I'm going to have to vacuum after too. Yes, it is okay to see some mistakes. I agree. I embrace things to look homemade and handmade, Deanne. I do not. I make a lot of, you know, sometimes when I stress over something, it ends up being kind of the prettiest part. So I try to remember that. But it's different also when I'm demoing it. I want to show you that it can be perfect. I most of the time don't really care on things like this, because I like things that look handmade. There's nothing I dislike more than going into what I think is going to be a cute little privately owned shop and having everything in there made in China, I gotta say. So I think that the homemade pieces are just wonderful. Don't know any other way to say that. I mean, you know, you can supplement a little bit with all of that stuff, but I think there's a lot of charm in this, in the handmade stuff. Okay, and you're seeing that if I'm coming up too short, really, I'm just grabbing another chunk of clay. I don't need any here because I can see I've got a lot of extra again. I tend to overdo it. All right, and let's do that one too. So I don't know what's going on here in New Hampshire, but last week I had my fireplace going, I had my socks and my boots out, I was all excited. It's 68 here today, sandals out. I feel like today's been like one big hot flash. I don't know what's going on. And of course it's gonna get cold again. I wish somebody up there would just make up their mind. Let me know what the season is. Okay. Taking that off. Okay, whoops, I'm stretching that right out. I'm starting on the ends like this because I can tell I've got a lot of extra clay to take out, and it really isn't going to drag very well if I go from one side to the other because there's so much. See, it picked it up. I think I didn't warm it up enough, so there we go. Let's just smudge it back down. I guess less is more. All right, that one looks good. That one looks kind of perfect, actually. Let's start here. There we go. Alrighty, let's get them out of here. All right, I'm going to face it down, and I am going to roll my molds out. I hope if you haven't seen molds done that this is like the biggest trick you take away, because it really is the way to get close to perfect castings. And then the rope one, this is the one that I used on the board that I showed you already that we waxed. And look at this one with the cute little daisies. Love it. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I glue them. So let's see what we've got here. I have to move some things aside. So these boards I pick up at Home Depot. That's just the store I've got around here. These are Home Depot boards. Let's see. Sorry about that, guys. All right, yeah, these are Home Depot boards. They are, I think, 24 inches, maybe 18 inches, but they're a big square. They're 1/4 inch ply. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put some of my, if you missed the beginning, this is the Tight Bond Thick. I'm gonna put some of it. Oh, I'm squeezing hard. You gotta go to the gym before you do this. All right, this glue I really like. It's fabulous if you're doing like something that is vertical because it doesn't drip. But I just started using it for everything. Where's my stick? Here it is. All right, let me think a little bit about my design before I just plop these down here. I'm gonna use this to put it on. You can use popsicle sticks or whatever it is you wanna do. All right, so this board has been sanded and cleaned. Can you guys see? Oh. Okay, just so you know. So I do the molds, glue them on while they're wet. Make sure when you're gluing them on, you're not stretching them out. You know, don't try to stretch around a corner because that's when you're going to get your cracks, okay? When it dries, when it shrinks. And then after all my molds are on and dry, that's when I paint. All right, so I'm thinking that I'm probably going to do 2 of these here. Maybe with something in between them. And then 2 of these here. I gotta have a little bit of symmetry, and I might do something like this all the way around though. Maybe on the outside. All right, so that's my plan so far. This is gonna be all around the whole outside. One of these. And then, geez, there's so many moldings, I'm not even sure. I'm just gonna have to choose what I like. Okay, and then we're gonna do somewhere on the edges. What can go here? Maybe a flower? I feel like I need to mold a flower for there. Maybe some butterflies on the other one. Okay. Let's mold up a quick flower, a few flowers. I love these. Everybody's so quiet. Hi, Suzanne. Whoops, I just took off my... I know it's a weird time of day, and hopefully some of you will be watching replay later. Or maybe you've already seen so much of the new molds. I'm thinking I need, even though I have my every other Friday night on DIY, I still am going to choose either Tuesdays or Wednesdays at noon to go live regularly on this page. But I think noon works for me, and because I don't know, let me tell you, the Friday night that I have to be here at 8 o'clock, it's rough on some Fridays. Because I don't get home till 10 after that, and yeah, 8 p.m. that's late because I'm not at my house, I'm at my workshop, so I still have to drive home after that, and so no more late nights. All right, this is huge. It kind of took a lot of clay, but it's because it's so big. I'm going to use my whole thing of clay up. I'm not sure I put any flour on this one. Let's see what happens. I think given that they're nice and clean and it's my first time, it'll be fine. Okay, I say that a lot to myself. My grandmother, who died a few years ago, and how old was she? She was 92. She used to always say, "Who are you talking to, Michelle?" Like, she had the start of dementia, but she was worried about me because I'm the one who talked to myself. She didn't. She was fine in that respect, but it was just kind of funny. It's like, I know I'm talking to myself. Sometimes I'm the only one who listens. Okay, whoops, either I missed that one or there's not enough clay in it to get us even. I want it nice and even over the rim. Okay, there we go. Here they come. Can't remember. Oops, I do. I was going to say, is there another one? Yes, the nice big one. Let me just catch that because I could feel it's going to. All right, now if you do have a little extra, you can just pinch it off or use use a tool if you have a mess like this right here. I'm just gonna pinch that right off. Just picked up a little extra. Okay. Now we're back at the design, and then I'm gonna glue some on and hope that you guys will all go try this yourself. Okay, so I'm back on my corner. I think that I'm going to start with a flower right here. And then this is gonna be around it. And then this with a space in between. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here. All right, let's start with that. Let's see, glue. All right, we're gonna start with this. I am just going to try not to be too messy, but I'm gonna put the glue on. See how thick it is? And I'm gonna put it right to the edges, okay? That's gonna help it to not move around or shrink as much or crack, okay? Hey Prudy, how are you? Did you get your box today? You're 1 day away. All right, so I got this right to the edges, and I am just gonna put it right down in the corner. Now, this is all gonna be painted, so I just moved this a little bit to reposition it. There's a little glue there, I don't care. It's gonna be covered up. I don't care. So you're just gonna make sure that it has contact on the edges, okay? Now, let's do this one. Do I dare? Let's see, I'm gonna hold it like this. You can do it on a flat surface. I'm just doing it because I want you guys to be able to see and because I think I've got this okay. It would be just like me to drop the stick though. All right, so I think I've pretty much got it right to the edge everywhere. And I am going to lay it down. Let me just make sure I've got this kind of straight. So this is gonna go here. I'm good with the spaces, so I'm just gonna press that down on the edges. Wipe myself off on my apron, put this over here for a marker, and then we're gonna do this one. Let's do this one laying down, see how that goes. Can you glue them on while the clay is drying? Yes, this clay is wet. You mean when the clay is dry, you can. You can glue them on when the clay is dry. I've done that too. I find it easier, I find it better to do this way because you get less shrinkage, and because if it has to mold in any way, like bend or go over a lump, or if you just have something that, you know, if it might not dry completely flat. This way you don't get any movement because it's not completely dry. Actually, right now it's pretty wet. And I'm just making sure I've got complete contact. It's not gonna lift. You know, it is good after to go look at your project from a side view. All right, now I'm gonna put this one on here. Or actually, maybe I won't. I'm gonna turn the board because I think down over this way I'm gonna do another one of those now just for size. It's not the same size. Is this the same size? All right, it's the same size as this. So I'm gonna cut it. Okay. I'm gonna do a butterfly. It doesn't matter what direction it's in. Let's see. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the flower, only I'm gonna do it with a butterfly, and I think I'm gonna put more than one butterfly and more than one flower. This is like as thick as that paste that we used to eat in school, you guys. All right, all the way to the, oh, whoops, I missed a little corner. Don't want to do that because that's when it lifts. Let's do this. Decided to turn it. So where you are, you're looking at what's going to be the top, I think. All right, and make sure it's down, and then let's put some little ones on it. I might even, let's see, how about like that? Making it up as I go along. It's just a sample board. It helps though when people come into the shops, or there are some people, believe it or not, are not on social media or Facebook, and like if they see the windows with the transfers on it, people who don't even know what they are will buy them to try to make them themselves. So I like having these boards. And I feel like a smaller one. I can't really see the composition. How about down there, you guys? How about that? I always add until I like it, so if I get done with this and I turn it around, and even after you paint it, you can just keep adding to it. I'm looking at this upside down though, so, but I feel like they should kind of be fluttering together, like in a line. All right. I've got glue all over my apron. What do we think? And then let's see, let's do this one up here. Now you can, how about if I do this? I think I'm gonna cut this. Let's try that first and see how it looks. If I had a template, I could cut, like actually cut right around, but I don't, and I'm gonna glue it down now. All right, glue. I have no idea what time it is, but I think I'm gonna be just about done. It's 4:45 already. And I think I'm probably going to leave a mess and come back to it tomorrow. I'm going to finish up the clay that I have opened because I don't have much. Finish gluing. All right, so. All right, sometimes I even, if I feel like I may have stretched it a little, I'll push it like this a little bit. All right, well, I think this is a good start. It certainly all looks much more cohesive once you paint it, you know, as you can see by the one that I did here that I already showed you guys. And the wax is already dry. All right, let's see if I can, I'm gonna finish up here, so, whoa, yeah. You probably saw that at the beginning. And whoops, I'm upside down. There's the bird song. So I'm gonna do something kind of like this on this board, only using as many products as I can as a sample. All right, thanks for watching, you guys. You can get your molds on serendipity.house, and I've got everything in stock. Actually, I just got on my back order Midnight Gardens today. Those have been out for a long time. The transfers and the Bohemian borders, if you've been waiting for those, are also in stock. And I lost track of how many I ordered, so I probably will never, ever, ever run out again. So running at those. All right, have a great weekend, you guys. If you want me to save you a bird song, then shoot me an email. Okay, bye.